What's up, everybody? Welcome to WrestleMania Recap. We're going to start with The Man versus Mami, the first match. And the entrances, well, they were pretty blank. Becky came out with pages of her book written all over her. Rhea came out to her favorite band, as seen here. Neither entrance was particularly amazing. We see the band thing every year at this point. Rhea had a ton of energy going to the ring, so you could kind of feel she was going over just from that alone. It just felt like her night. And here we get a shot of the entire arena. It looked amazing, and it reminded me of being a kid and seeing WrestleMania during the daytime, and for some reason I pop for that. I love it. It's just a beautiful shot. Anyway, as the match got underway, Becky went for the left arm of Rhea early. Apparently, Rhea had a brace on that arm that was spoken about, but no real injury was given or reason why. Ripley would use her power to counter with a deep Northern Lights suplex with a bridge. The crowd seemed firmly on the Eradicator's side. Ripley tries for a vertical suplex, and Becky counters with a small package, but Ripley kicks out and holds on and continues right back into the vertical suplex. Mami would brush her shoulders off, and that would basically be the tone for the early match. Just a lot of confidence for Ripley. And the crowd, like I said, about 80-20. Even though Becky was being the face, Mami's always on top. She was really the face, actually. So, Mami finally goes to the outside for the first high spot, an Eddie Guerrero tribute, which Becky easily counters with an arm drag to the shoulder that was already hurt. Becky, who's playing the face, is now on the comeback and hits a tornado DDT off the middle rope. It's worth noting that the Prime logos are subtle, a perfect start to having center ring advertising. Just the tip, so to say. They eased it in gently. A little foreplay, never hurts. Becky hits her leg drop to the outside while Ripley is draped over the second rope. On the outside, Becky immediately goes for the Bexploder, then throws Ripley in the ring, then goes to the top rope for a leg drop and a 2 count. Becky goes right to work on the left arm, just beating it into the mat. I miss the olden days where wrestlers would use actual holds to wear joints down. Today they just kick, punch, or slam the body part before going for a submission. It's at this point where my prediction comes true and Becky plays with the food too much and tries to disarm her while standing up, which makes no sense, so naturally Rhea can easily counter, then press slam her forward to the mat onto the Prime logo. Rhea kind of lazily slams Becky into the mat a few times the way Divas used to as she looks around the crowd. Not sure if she forgot her spot or was just planning on the fly, but it didn't look good. It's here she makes a fatal mistake and goes for a riptide, which gets counted into a backstabber armbar combo onto the injured left arm. And oddly, Rhea loses her S-grip, slides to the center of the ring instead of to the ropes, so she has no choice except to give up the hold and go to a one-handed powerbomb counter, except she hits 3 in a row, with the final one being to a sit-down pin. Nice combination, however. So this is where you can see the frustration on Rhea's face, as the story is supposed to be. Like, we finally found a worthy person to face the great dominator of Rhea Ripley. It by no means means that she's going to lose, however. We get a little yay boo slap fight in the middle of the ring until Rhea charges at the man, who dodges so Ripley can further hurt her left arm because she hits the metal post. Then, what I would say is probably the spot of the match, Becky hits the disarmer in the ropes on the turnbuckle, but has to break it up due to the 5 count. Now these are the types of spots that are rare, like Gail Kim's octopus, that I wish were done more. She then goes for another leg drop off the top rope, but historically those second-time moves are tried, and they fail, and true to form, Mami counters into the prism lock, which definitely signals we're well on our way home now, and it's just a matter of WrestleMania kickouts until the true finish ends the match. Mami holds this lock for a good minute and pulls Becky away from the ropes 3 to 4 times, then drops down into a grapevine, something I don't remember her ever doing before. I honestly had no clue how Becky would escape this, and it seemed like she would roll to the ropes, but instead she did this weird pin stack which forced Mami to kick out and break the hold. It was awkward, but effective, as they say. They get up, Mami goes riptide, then gets countered, then the man hits a manhandle slam, to which Mami kicks out at 2, And this moderately shocks some of the crowd to my surprise. Mami chants ring out, they regain their footing, and then go for what looks like a backslide advantage. But this kind of, fails, and then the man gets a riptide for her troubles. 1, 2, nope. And then that's exactly the right move there. Prove that the riptide is beatable because she kicks out. And that's where the Cena Theory match went wrong last year's opener. The lack of kickouts near the end. So this year we're getting a story that makes sense and matters. So now you're thinking, what's Rhea going to have to do to put the man down? So Mami decides to go for Latina Heat from the top rope, but once again she's met with resistance and a superplex for her troubles, and immediately into another disarmer. Now this looks like real danger, which is why I totally don't buy it, because wrestling is about being sold and the marks buy it. I try to never buy when the product looks obvious. Becky rolls over and hits the full force of the disarmer, and the champ has nowhere to go. Yet Becky kind of lets up a little bit on the hold, which lets Ripley stand up for what looks like an elevator drop, but instead they go to the ropes and do a skin the cat type maneuver to the outside. Then Ripley hits an elevator drop to the outside. Fantastic move. Why do it in the ring when you can take us for a ride and do it outside of the ring? I gotta admit, never seen it before. That's the new spot of the match. Now we're in the final moments. Rhea goes to the top rope. Third time's the charm on the frog splash. She connects. Long 2 count. Becky has 102-degree fever and still won't die. They go for another turnbuckle, which looks like a superplex that Becky reverses into a manhandle slam, but Rhea counters it on the way down, catches Becky with a straight right hand that looks as good as any working punch out there, except it hit on Becky's right shoulder, which made me laugh. Then Mami lands the craziest thing, a riptide onto the turnbuckle, because these turnbuckle finishers seem to be all the rage now that AEW has been doing them, except this one was much safer and honestly didn't look bad at all. And it was basically used as a stunning move to set Becky up for the real deal. Another riptide, dead center of the ring for 1, 2, 3, and still, well, you know the rest because Mami's always on top. 17 minutes match, 4.25 stars. What do you got to say about that? Very solid match. So that's how we're going to cover the first match of the WrestleMania show. Solid opener. Check back with me, and we're going to go ahead and cover the dual tag team title match next. And remember, the channel is Zenix Saxzon, or Modern Day Renaissance Man. See you next time.